Olá pessoal, estamos começando mais um vídeo aqui no Database. Eu sou a Monique Alves e hoje eu tenho mais uma entrevista com pessoas do elenco de Resident Evil Requiem. A gente ainda está no momento Resident Evil Requiem aqui no canal e eu espero que dure bastante porque... Vocês sabem, né? Pra mim não é um jogo perfeito, mas foi um jogo que eu gostei bastante e eu acho que começou a trilhar um caminho bacana para a franquia. De qualquer maneira, hoje eu não tô aqui para falar do Requiem em si, mas sim apresentar o CRAIG Burnatovsky, que é o ator que fez o Zeno em Resident Evil Requiem, mas ele não fez só o Zeno. Ele também fez Albert Wesker em Resident Evil 4 Remake, e é claro que eu não poderia deixar de falar também do Wesker nessa entrevista. Ou seja, o Wesker que vai aparecer é, e o Zeno também. Não, não é o Krauser. Não resisti, desculpa. Mas antes de vocês conferirem a entrevista, não esquece de já se inscrever no canal se você não for um inscrito. Deixa o like nesse vídeo. Se não for por mim, deixa pelo Craig, que é um amor de pessoa. Então, deixa o like aí e compartilhe com os seus amigos pra gente continuar crescendo aqui no YouTube, porque agora a gente está na meta dos 200 mil inscritos. E se a gente chegar nos 200 mil inscritos, aí vai ter bolo, e aí vai ter sorteios, e vai ter festinha e zás. E sem mais delongas, deixo vocês agora com a minha entrevista com o Craig. Está legendado em português e eu espero que vocês gostem. Roda a vinheta, produção! No caso, eu mesma sou a produção. É isso. Bora! Okay, so what was your approach to portraying Albert Wesker in Resident Evil 4 Remake? Did you try to stay close to previous versions? Or bring something new? How was it for you?
So I've told this story before, but when I auditioned for the role for Resident Evil 4 Remake, it was all fake scripts, and I didn't know it was for Capcom. I didn't know it was for Resident Evil. They gave me completely fake scripts, and I auditioned for a character that wasn't Wesker. It was like a made-up character. I got cast in it. This is coming out of the pandemic as well. So this was, I had some Zoom auditions coming into the pandemic, but this was, the callback for it was the first in-person audition / callback I had since the pandemic was starting to clear up a bit. And then they flew me to Vancouver and I still didn't know what it was. And when I was in the room, they told me it was Capcom and it was Resident Evil, and I was like, oh, okay. And then they told me it was Wesker, and I was like, oh, okay. And then they, so I kept silent at first, and then when I had a second, I went over to the director and I was like, hey, so do they want me to do this like I did my audition, or like this character has been played for 20 years? And the translator overheard, and he looked at me and he goes, oh no, like your audition. So they wanted a complete shift. They wanted a change for this character. And I guess I was fortunate that I showed them what they were looking for in the audition.
Were you a fan of Resident Evil when you...
very much so. So I played the first one when it first came out. And I remember playing it with my classmates, because I was in theater school at the time, and I had a couple friends that were into games, and we rented it and we played it over a weekend. So I don't know if we finished it, but I do remember mocking the voice acting in it, but at the same time wishing that we could do something like that. And then I worked on Resident Evil Outbreak. So I did 6 months of motion capture for Resident Evil Outbreak, and then I think I played a little bit of Resident Evil 2, but I never played 3 until I got a little distracted because I was playing World of Warcraft for several years. So there's a lot of games that I missed. I was running a guild in World of Warcraft. And then when I came back, I bought a PS4 and started playing console games again. So I played... Before I did Resident Evil 4 Remake, I had already played Resident Evil 2 Remake, 3 Remake, 7, and I'm not sure if I'd have to look to see if I'd played 8 or not. I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, I need to look back and see when I got my trophies to see if it was before or after I worked on 4, but I was very familiar with the franchise, yeah.
Wow. I got curious with this Outbreak thing. Can you tell me more, please?
Yeah, so I had a different agent back then, and my agent was the same agent that Allison Court had, which was the original Claire Redfield. And so she had already done 2 and I guess a couple other games. She'd done some spin-offs, Code Veronica, I believe. And so she was in the position of directing Outbreak. So I didn't know her at the time, but she brought me in for a voice audition, and I didn't book the role. And then I got a call from my agent and said, do you want to do this? I don't know what this is. My agent had no idea. They were like, it's motion capture. I don't know. And my eyes lit up, and I was like, yes, 100%. So I went in thinking I was going to do 1 day of motion capture. And then I've heard Capcom say this in the past, but apparently my body dimensions were the exact right dimensions for their stock character. So because like the length of my leg, the height of my waist to ground or whatever, and because I was 6 feet tall, I just fit into their character models. So they were like, bring him back. So they just kept bringing me back for it lasted up to 6 months, and it wasn't every day, but it was like I would go in for 3 times 1 week. They wouldn't call me for a week, and then they'd be like, can you come in for like 4 more days? Yeah, of course. So I played the majority of the male characters in that game. I did the motion capture for like walk cycles, for cinematics. I played monsters. I played a tyrant. I did all kinds of stunts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, such an experience.
Yeah.
So you have a long story with Resident Evil.
I do, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Let's talk about Zeno now.
Okay.
When you first read the script for Resident Evil Requiem, what was your reaction to Zeno as a character after being Wesker?
So that's funny too, because you make it sound like I got to read the script. That's not what happens. So I got a call that said you were that I was going to be working on something, and once again I knew it was part of this franchise. That's all I knew, and I also knew that Requiem was in production already, but Wesker dies in 5, so I didn't think there was any chance that I would be involved in this, and so they gave me dates. I flew out there. I think I got scripts for the scenes that I was in. Like I only got scripts, and it would be, so I went 3 or 4 times. So I didn't get all of the scripts for all the scenes. I got the one script I was working on, and then the next script I was working on, and you know, the information they trickle down to you is minuscule. Like you don't get told the whole story. So it's a lot of fate. There's thousands of people that work on these games, and like the character that we created is not just me. It's Capcom, it's Kate Saxon, our director, it's the actors that had already been working on the project for a year. It's a collaborative effort. So with the limited knowledge of what I knew was going on, I had to trust that, you know, we do the scenes and then we look over at Capcom and they're like, yes, good. So yeah, it's and I didn't know the whole story of Zeno. So
yeah, I think we don't know the whole story of Zeno yet.
We know
right?
We know what's in the game.
Yeah, and by the way, the fans love to theorize about Wesker, about Zeno.
Of course.
Have you seen any fan theories about Zeno that made you think, wow, that's actually very clever?
I've seen all kinds of stuff, but once you're involved in a franchise like this, you lose the ability to be a fan, basically. Like I can't speculate, I can't guess. I can read and not comment stuff. So yeah, I've read all kinds of stuff.
Oh, so I think you know more than us about Zeno. Well, that's it. What was the most challenging scene or line for you to record as both Wesker and Zeno?
Most challenging line. There's a bunch of stuff that is really technically specific. So a lot of the stuff where, with the scene with Grace where I'm showing her the stuff on the computer, it's, you've got to get these words out. You've got to be standing in this place. You got to push the button at the right time. Like, it doesn't sound hard, but when you like your expression has to be in the right place, it's so technically complicated a lot of the times. So I think that one was challenging. The stuff yelling with Victor, I think that one kind of came through really quick. I think we only did 1 or 2 takes of that. Let's see, with Wesker, what was difficult in that? I don't know about difficult, but so I knew Mercenaries was going to be happening in Resident Evil 4 because they brought me in to do a whole bunch of yelling and like in a recording studio that wasn't motion capture. I don't know how much of that made it into the game, because when you play as Wesker in Mercenaries, he doesn't really make too much noise, and they kept telling me, like, I knew what kind of sounds normally like a fighter makes, so I was doing it, and they're like, no, less, because Wesker doesn't do this. So we went through a lot of different versions of Wesker taking a bullet. That's too much. So it was like a lot of trial and error, and I think that it's really buried in the mix. So that was a fun challenge.
Wow. Do you have a favorite Wesker line, either from the remake or from the franchise in general?
There's a couple lines that are fun because, like, they like I've got a cameo. Oh, sorry, my chair is making noise. I've got a cameo, and when people request videos from me, there's a couple lines that are really easy to personalize. So, Ada, what to do with you? That one's really easy to personalize for people. And then in the new game, we've been waiting for you, Grace.
Wow, that's amazing. And
my new favorite line is definitely right after Mr. X drops down and he just says, "Have fun."
That's amazing. Wow. I feel like I'm talking to Wesker right now. Do you think I would be a nice Wesker children? Wearing black?
Definitely. No colors at all.
Yeah. And I bet people like to ask you to make the lines for Resident Evil 5 like 7 minutes.
Yes, and I don't do any lines that aren't from the games that I've worked on.
Oh no.
Those are lines that other actors did, and they're not the lines I did.
Oh no, that's so sad, because we would like to hear how Wesker would sound in a remake of Resident Evil 5.
Sorry, but I don't have time to spare.
Wow.
That's as close as you get, because that's in Requiem.
Okay. That's okay. If Wesker and Zeno were to meet, how do you think that interaction would go?
I was asked who would win in a fight, and I find it hard to believe that the two of them would even care about fighting each other. They're so confident in the fact that they're invincible that they just wouldn't have time for each other. They're both, or maybe they would work together. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's a tough question.
They would make like that man from Spider-Man.
From Spider-Man,
one
yes.
Pointing at the other.
Yep.
And to finish,
you
are me. No, you are me. You're a cheap imitation.
Right. Yep.
How Wesker would say that to Zeno?
See, once again, I don't want to take dialogue out of other actors' mouths. So I generally speak to the quotes that he's already done in game.
Oh no, but that would be Wesker saying that to Zeno. That's not Gideon. That would be Wesker.
I get it.
Okay, I understand. To finish our conversation, what would you like to say to Resident Evil fans, especially the fans in Brazil?
Hello to all the Resident Evil fans in Brazil. It's a pleasure, an absolute pleasure to get to work in this franchise and to portray such an iconic role as Wesker and now Zeno. And I feel very blessed that I get to be enact parts of this character and be part of the community and reach out to people that are all around the world. It's a very exciting time to be a part of this franchise.
Oh, please come to Brazil. We always say
I would
that.
love to. I will say that I would love to do personal appearances and stuff at cons, but the only way that happens is if the fans reach out to the cons that are near them and request. I know that Nick is already going around the world doing stuff, and there's been talks of me joining him for stuff, but it's up to the fans to request people that they want to see. Okay,
so we have a task, fans. We have something to do. And the Please Come to Brazil has come to become a reality. Has to become a reality.
I'd love to. I've never been to Brazil, and I would love to.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Craig. Thank you for your
My
time.
Pleasure. Very nice to meet you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Bom, é isso! Me conta aqui embaixo o que você achou dessa entrevista. E, gente, eu sei que vocês estão pedindo bastante entrevista com várias pessoas relacionadas a Resident Evil Requiem. Eu ainda estou tentando várias entrevistas, é o que eu falei pra vocês. Esse momento Requiem ainda está ativo aqui no canal e eu ainda estou tentando várias entrevistas. Porém, não depende só de mim, depende também das pessoas aceitarem dar a entrevista. Eu já fiz vários pedidos para modelos de rosto, para dubladores, para outros atores também do elenco original. Estou tentando, mas depende da disponibilidade da agenda deles e, claro, também deles quererem, porque a gente não pode obrigar ninguém a dar entrevista, não é verdade? Mas, enfim, sigo tentando. Então, comenta aqui embaixo o que vocês acharam desse papo com o Craig, que foi um querido de ceder um pouquinho do tempo dele para bater esse papo aqui. E, é claro, a gente se vê no nosso próximo vídeo aqui no canal. Então, comenta aqui se vocês querem, que tipo de vídeo vocês querem aqui no canal agora, ainda neste momento Requiem. Coloque ideias aí de vídeos que eu tô bem entusiasmada e quero ver o que vocês gostariam de ver por aqui, nesse momento Requiem do Database. Então eu vou ficando por aqui. Um beijo pra todo mundo, até o próximo vídeo e tchau!